Alright, welcome back everyone. We're back with the weekly update video. We got a lot to uncover this week due to inflationary fears coming back out, recessionary fears, or possible soft landing still possible. So we're going to break a lot of this down and also talk a little bit about these technicals that we're watching going out this week. So you can see right here this past week the main data that we had come out. ISM manufacturing PMI came out as a little bit lower than expected, just 0.1%. But we also are continually seeing the manufacturing sector of the economy just continue to fall. Now, we also had FOMC minutes. We expected to see a little bit of volatility from these notes, but we also didn't expect to see anything crazy as far as what to expect or anything. And we also had non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate come out. Now, I'm not going to talk about really the main underlying aspect of this just because of the fact that we really don't get to see a lot of this underlying stuff of why unemployment rate is going down while we're still continuing to add jobs, but the manufacturing sector is going down. So we saw that the non-farm payrolls added 23,000 jobs more than what we forecasted. Unemployment rate went down by 0.2%. This could be because of prices being so high that people are having to get that second or third job. It could also possibly be because people are buying people out of their contracts for early retirement. That way they don't have to claim it as unemployment. It could be a multitude of things, but we're mainly seeing this labor market continue to show strength in times of recessionary fears, and this is going to continually push the ideal of a soft landing further and further. So this week we have a little bit of a different tone. We have CPI data coming out, so we're going to have a lot of volatility coming out this week. We'll also have Federal Reserve Chairman Powell speaking. I do not expect him to say anything crazy just for the fact that we haven't got this inflation report out yet. But I do expect him to be talking a little bit about the recession and what he expects. I will say I do expect him to mention a soft landing, and it is very plausible just with how strong the economy is doing. So looking here on the weekly, we are still in this giant bull flag on the weekly. And I'm going to continue to be this long-term bear until we break out of this. Now, I am watching if we continue to follow this trend of this bullish seasonality and this bullish push going to the beginning of this year, I am going to be watching 400. Now, why am I watching 400 is mainly due to the fact that we have a gap fill around this range, and alongside with that, we have that test of that daily breakout along with the stock RSI and MACDs pushing up. So all the technicals right now are pushing or showing a push to the upside. I will not have a position yet, just mainly due to the fact that we do not know what this data will come out as, and it can easily turn a trend from looking good to very, very bad. So CPI data or inflation data is mainly due to the fact that we're in this disinflation area right now, so we're seeing this continual inflation going down, but do not expect it to continue going down constantly. We could see some flare backs in inflation, and I expect it to see at least 1 to 3 times before inflation is back down to that 2 to 3% goal. Now, on the daily here, we're in this bearish pennant, and these normally do break out to the bottom side, but I will go ahead and point out real quick that this is why we do not play them until they do break out or break down. So you see, this is called a bearish pennant, and I'll explain why. You have a giant sell-off right here from this. We were in this rising wedge. We couldn't break out on this daily resistance, and we fell hard. We saw this giant sell-off. Normally, during a giant sell-off like this, you're going to either consolidate or you're going to pull back. Well, we couldn't continue this pullback, so we consolidated in this range, this sidewards triangle, and this is normally a bearish pennant just because this is usually followed by another push down. This doesn't always have to be pushed down, but it can. So that we don't normally enter this position until after we have broke out and retested. Now, we have not yet seen a green chart right here on the daily MACD, so I'm still not in a position. But if we do break out and we do get this good inflation data, could be going long. So remember, 400 would be my main range that I'm watching for SPX. And then also this week, we also have coming out the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Preliminary on Friday. So remember, we're switching from inflation fears to recessionary fears. So we're kind of getting this mindset now of we want the economic numbers to be better than what they were, because the worse the economy numbers get, the more a recession seems to be more looming on us. Now, we're seeing more Fed officials speaking this week after we got all of this data coming out, that a soft landing is more possible. So we're seeing this push in the stock market just basically because a soft landing is possible. If we do get in a recession, it may not be as bad, but I'm still not looking exactly on that bright side, just mainly due to the fact that we have a lot of macro environment things that we have to handle beforehand, and inflation is not beat just yet. We're going to continue to rate hike, and we're going to see this push in inflation, and I really hope we do not have a pushback in inflation, but we could possibly see a couple more. So until then, I will be continue doing day trading, scalping. I will not be going long until I see definitive data that we're going to continue pushing down inflation and the economy is starting to kind of come back a little bit. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Everybody, thank you everybody for my subscribers and everything. Everybody just have a great weekend. God bless.